Have you ever missed a prayer and immediately thought, I'm a bad Muslim? Why is this so hard for me? I feel like this is easier for everybody else. What's wrong with me? And then you feel worse. And because you feel worse, you avoid trying again. That cycle, that's not laziness. That's the nervous system stuck in a threat response. What is a threat response, you ask? Well, let me tell you. A threat response is our autonomic or automatic nervous system going into a stress response. Often we think about that as a fight or flight response because it senses danger in our environment. That might be conscious or unconsciously. So before we start talking about trying to build habits as a Muslim, we need to start talking about how our nervous system might be getting in the way. So let me be real. In my opinion, there is no such thing as laziness. There's just apathy and numbness. Apathy sounds like, I don't care, it doesn't matter, whatever. But if your inner dialogue sounds like, I hate that I keep messing up, I want to be better, why can't I do this? That's not apathy, that's wholeheartedness. Having ADHD is like having emotional allergies and nervous system allergies. Our brain rapidly makes associations, moving from one thing to the next, making it more likely for our nervous system to get overwhelmed and for us to shut down quicker. The result is that our brains are more frequently in a survival state than other neurotypical brains. The result of this survival state is that our brains are so busy trying to figure out the here and now that it can't exhaust more energy thinking about a future that it's not sure it's going to reach yet. That means anything that requires long-term planning is so much harder for our brain to do. ADHD affects the part of our brain associated with task initiation, transitioning between activities, emotional regulation, sustaining attention, time perception, amongst other things. When you struggle to start something, it isn't your brain saying, I refuse. It's not you being defiant. It's not you being lazy. It's not you being not good enough. It's simply your brain saying, this feels heavy. This feels overwhelming. This feels unsafe. This is too much. I'm barely surviving. Now, layer shame on top of that. Shame activates the same neural circuits in our brains as physical pain. So when you attack yourself after missing Salah, your body moves into a fight, flight, or freeze response. Fight through self-criticism, flight through avoidance, and freeze through completely shutting down and numbing yourself with your numbing agent of choice, be it technology, food, media, whatever that is. And guess what shuts down first in freeze mode? Your executive functions! Because if your inner monologue has turned yourself into a threat the size of a bear, your nervous system is under attack. It thinks you're going to die. So wudu, well, that can't happen because death is coming too quickly to stick your foot in the sink. You don't need harsher self-talk. That's you becoming the giant bear in your life. You need regulation. So how about we throw out self-criticism and look for the deeper solution? We've been taught, fear Allah, be disciplined, have taqwa. But fear without safety produces anxiety, not consistency. The Prophet, peace be upon him, created emotional safety. He reassured, he comforted, he validated struggle. If you want consistent worship, your nervous system has to feel safe enough to approach Allah, not terrified of disappointing him. Ask yourself honestly, when I think of Allah, do I feel invited or evaluated? If your image of Allah mirrors your harsh inner critic, you will unconsciously avoid connection. Because connection feels like exposure. It feels unsafe. But did you know you can achieve safety through connection? It's called co-regulation. When our nervous system is tweaking out, a safe connection can bring us back into balance. So if we change how we imagine God, we can rewire that connection to him. Do you know what the word Rab actually means? It means that which brings you from immaturity to maturity according to your unique design. And guess what? Allah made you neurodivergent. Did you know that Allah loves the person that strays from the path and returns far more than he does the person that never strayed? That means no matter how much you feel like you're falling short, turning back makes you more lovable than someone that's perfectly consistent all the time. So next time you miss something or feel like you aren't deserving of Allah's rahmah, instead of thinking, I'm a bad Muslim, try this. Think of a scene that reminds you of Allah's mercy. For me, that's looking up at the trees in the forest or looking out at the ocean waves. Close your eyes and visualize that scene. Imagine what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what your skin feels like, what you might be touching, and take a few deep breaths. That will signal to your body safety. And imagine your life is like a movie and freeze frame at the exact next thing you'd like to see in the movie of your life. It should be an action that takes 2 seconds or less. Maybe it's standing, maybe it's moving towards the bathroom, maybe it's looking over at your prayer mat. Once we take the first step, the next steps will follow, inshallah. So, what's the TLDR here? Bottom line, you are not a lazy Muslim. You're a sincere Muslim navigating a nervous system that's stuck in survival mode. And sincerity matters much more than flawless performance. The question is no longer, what is wrong with me? It becomes, what support does my system need? In the next episode, I'll share more about my favorite emotional regulation strategies and structures so you have more capacity for the spiritual endeavors you're hoping to embark on. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and share it with a friend. You can stay in touch with me at therapist.ramya or www.ramyas.com. Jazakallah for watching to the end. Salam for now.